Okay, this is my third take of recording this because I was kind of rambling on in my previous takes, so hopefully I'll be a bit more, I don't know, like, direct here, hopefully. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, 12 hours ago-ish, well, about 12 hours ago, Sony held a press conference where they basically announced the PS4, and they showed off a bunch of games and some of the new features of the PS4. They were basically like announcing the hardware specs and some of the games, that sort of stuff. So this video is basically just going to be me just sitting here in front of the camera talking to you and offering my thoughts or opinions on the stuff they showed in the conference. Mainly the games they showed I'll be concentrating on. So if you're interested in hearing what I have to say about this matter, then stick around, I guess. I watched it last night. I stayed up until half 1 AM to 1:30 AM to watch it. And I've got school and work today now. Well, I've already done school, but now I've got work later. I'm not looking forward to that. I'm a bit tired, but whatever. Okay, so onto the conference. What did I think of it? So I watched the live stream last night, as I said. So I guess consoles, or game consoles, they've kind of evolved now to the point where the people who make them are trying to push them to be like social, to try and fit some like social elements into it, if you know what I mean. Like they can connect to the internet, so you converse people. So I guess that's kind of a social aspect, I guess. But now they're doing all these new things, like how you can directly interact with other people's games. You can watch someone play a game. Like they can basically live stream directly from the console now for your friends to watch. Personally, when I just view a games console as a games console, a device to play games on. I'm not too interested in the social stuff. Like, I just want to use it to play games, so I don't really have much opinions on that. I'm just like, it's not for me. I'm not interested in that sort of stuff. So, alright, but they were going on about how you can record. Like, there's a feature which allows you to record games. Like, you can directly record games. I'm not sure where you can upload this to. Like, they didn't. I don't think they said where these video files can be uploaded to, so I'm not sure if it's like directly linked to YouTube. So as long as I'm not sure if you could like use the PS4 to directly like record your game footage and directly upload it to YouTube. They haven't really said that, but this is kind of raising some interesting points here because some companies, Rockstar is pretty infamous for this. A lot of companies, they don't like their footage, footage of their games being uploaded online. Certain game companies. So the fact that the PS4 specifically gives you the ability to actually directly record footage from your console is kind of interesting here. So it's kind of like the developers are going to have to put up with this or accept this, since obviously the PS4 is now allowing people to directly record game footage and upload it online. So it's kind of interesting how these companies are going to deal with this. Like the people who really, the companies who don't like their footage being uploaded online, such as Rockstar. Yeah, okay, so moving on. Let's move on to the games, shall we? So we kind of started off with this guy, I can't remember his name, but he kind of walked on and the Crash Bandicoot music was playing, so I was getting really hyped up because I thought they were about to announce a new Crash game or something, and he wasn't there for that reason, so I was kind of disappointed there. I got hyped up for no reason there. But the guy was basically showing off this new game called Knack. I don't know, it looks okay. From what I can tell, it looks like some sort of Ratchet and Clank kind of game. I'm not sure. It just looked okay. It doesn't look like my kind of thing. But yeah, it just looks okay. The next thing they announced was Killzone 4. I am not a fan of the Killzone series, not in the slightest. Like Killzone 1, 2 and 3, I haven't played any of them. I played Killzone 2. Well, I played the demo for Killzone 2 and it was bad. It's not for me. I didn't like the Killzone 2 demo one bit, and I doubt any of the other games are much different. Like from what I've seen of short gameplay clips of them, they don't look too good. And Killzone 4 to me looks awful. This is just my opinion, but in general, I'm not a fan of FPSs. There's very few FPSs I like. It's very rare for me to actually like one. I hate most of them, and Killzone 4 is no different. It's just it's just your average generic FPS set in the future. There's nothing. It doesn't look too entertaining or fun to me. So Killzone 4, not interested in that in the slightest. So the next game they announced was Drive Club, which is basically a racing game. I'm not a fan of racing games, so this game just I kind of shut off throughout this. Like they were talking about how they've got some. Basically, the graphics are awesome. They were basically bragging about the graphics, and for what I saw on the live stream on my computer, the graphics look good. Like obviously, the graphics are going to look even better when you actually have the game and you're actually playing them on your HD TV. Because when you're watching it on your computer through a live stream, obviously the quality isn't as good as it actually is going to be in the finished product. So. Sure, the graphics looked fantastic, I'll give them that, but racing games, it's just not for me. I'm not a fan of racing games, I can't stand them, so again, it's not my cup of tea, so it didn't look interesting to me. The next thing they announced was Infamous 3, or you might want to call it a spin-off or whatever. It's the third game of the Infamous series, so it's Infamous 3 to me. So it's called Infamous Second Son. The trailer was, that's what it was, just a trailer. Like they didn't show any gameplay footage, it was just like cutscenes. And I really hate it when game studios do that. Like it's nothing to get hyped up about for me. Like I can't get hyped up at like a cinematics or like, you know, a trailer composed of cutscenes. I have to see gameplay for me to make my opinion on a game or get hyped up for it. So judging from, there's nothing to judge here. It just didn't look interesting to me. Like, Infamous 1 was okay. I have played Infamous 1, it was okay. Infamous 2, I never played. Infamous 3, well, they didn't show any gameplay footage, so I can't really speak anything about it. But from judging from the first two games, I'm just, whatever. I guess I'll get around to buying it, but I'm not excited for it. The next game they showed was called The Witness, which is basically a puzzle game. Now, this by far looks like the most interesting game in my opinion. This was like the best thing they showed at this conference. So The Witness, yeah, it just looks good. It looks really, well, really good. Like, I like puzzle games, so it's my kind of thing. And the dude did say that there was going to be about 25 hours of content, I believe. Game developers are known for like making stuff up when it comes to gameplay time, you know. But we'll see. Maybe he's telling the truth. But it looks fun. It looks interesting. The next thing was Beyond Two Souls by Nick Cage. Not Nicolas Cage, David Cage, that's it. The same guy who made Heavy Rain. So he came on to kind of briefly tease Beyond Two Souls, which is basically the spiritual successor to Heavy Rain. I liked Heavy Rain, so I'm looking forward to Beyond Two Souls. They didn't show anything new because they did show the trailer last year for this game, which was gameplay footage, because basically the whole entire game is a cutscene. If you played Heavy Rain, you know what I'm talking about, but they didn't show anything of the game aside from a character model. The character model looks great. It's like, wow, it looks pretty impressive. They basically showed one of the character's face and the way like the character moved and everything, like the character's face. But basically, it looks really impressive. Like this surpasses LA Noire like by far. Like basically, the graphics look great. Like the character models, they look fantastic. Like they didn't show any gameplay or anything new aside from the character models, but. Yeah, I was looking forward to Beyond Two Souls beforehand anyway, because it was because it's a spiritual successor to Heavy Rain, so I'm looking forward to it anyway. Beyond Two Souls, they didn't show anything new of it. I was looking forward to it before this press conference anyway, but the character models look impressive. Let's move on. So Media Molecules, some guy who is like really important in Media Molecules came on next. For those of you who don't know, they made Little Big Planet. And I love Little Big Planet. Like, Little Big Planet 2 is one of my favourite games of all time. The amount of hours I've put into the create mode is unbelievable. Like, I've surpassed that 24-hour trophy by far. I've spent a lot of time on Little Big Planet 2, basically. Like, I've spent a lot of hours on that. I really love Little Big Planet 2. So I was kind of like getting really excited here. Like, maybe it's Little Big Planet 3. And when his portion of the conference was over, I was just really confused. I was like, so what was that? Was it a game or what? Because basically he kind of showed off this engine where you can use the PlayStation Move to kind of build sculptures, and I'm not sure, it looked like you can build like locations, like towns as well. I'm not too sure, but I was really confused by the end of the conference, his portion of the conference. Like, I wasn't too sure whether or not this was an actual game or some sort of building simulator. Or maybe just some sort of engine they've built. Like, I'm not sure what it was. But from what I can tell, it's some sort of engine. I'm not quite sure. It wasn't a game, I don't think. But I don't know. I was just confused. It didn't really get me hyped up for anything. I was just kind of like, what was that? It basically showed them like building sculptures using the PlayStation Move. This is one cool thing though. The PlayStation Move from the PlayStation 3, it's being carried on to the PlayStation 4, so you can use the PS Move with the PS4. So it's not as if they're going to make like a PS Move, which is specifically can only be used for the PS4. So it's not as if the PS Move for the PS3 is incompatible with the PS4. You can use the PS Move with the PS4. So that's cool. They are like bringing it on. So like I only got the PS Move this Christmas actually. So since the PS4 was just announced, I was kind of like, I've just bought the PS Move now, and then now moving on to the PS4, so I kind of bought it for nothing. If, like it's reached the end of its lifespan, so I'm glad to hear that it will be moved on to the PS4. So I bought it, and it's still going to be used for the PS4. You know what I'm saying? So I was kind of glad about that. Next up was a game called Deep Down, which was made by Bungie. Yeah, and oh no, it wasn't Bungie. I can't remember who made it, but it's a game called Deep Down. I think Capcom made it. The graphics look really good. I don't think they showed any gameplay, or if they did show gameplay, it was very like a very small amount. It's just like someone walking through a cave. They didn't show any combat or anything. Like they showed combat, but they showed it through cutscenes. So once again, going back to what I was saying about the other game, which was Infamous 3. I don't really have anything to judge you on because there's no gameplay, so whatever. It's just some sort of medieval game from what I can tell. Dark Souls, Skyrim, that kind of setting, so whatever. There's no gameplay, so I can't really judge it. It just looks okay. Like I'll form my opinion later, I guess. The next game was by Square Enix. Who they didn't even give the title. I did Google it afterwards, and other people did have the title, so I found out the title later. But at the conference, they didn't actually reveal the title of this game, so I can't remember what it's called. But basically, it seems some sort of dragon game. It looks like you play as some woman who like can fly dragons or something. I don't know. Once again, there's no gameplay. It's just cutscenes. Doesn't look too impressive to me. I'll just have to wait until I see some gameplay before I form an opinion on it. So whatever. To that game, it looked okay, but like I said, I can't judge it because there's no gameplay. It was only cutscenes. They also announced a Final Fantasy game. They said at E3 they'll talk more about a new Final Fantasy game. I haven't played any of the Final Fantasy games. I own 7 and 8. I've played like a half an hour or an hour of number 7, which is apparently the best one. I'll finish it one day. Like I will play the other Final Fantasy games eventually, but I've only played a bit of the 7th one, so I'm not a fan of this series, although if I do play the 7th, 8th, I probably will start again to the series. So the next thing was Watch Dogs by Ubisoft. They actually showed gameplay, so I can kind of get excited for it, but it looks good. I will say, it looks good from what they showed. It looks interesting. Like, I'm interested in how much freedom you have with the environment, like how much stuff can you interact with, because it seemed as if the guy was just walking along and he was basically, it kind of ends with a chase scene. He's getting chased by cops and he's kind of like interacting with his environments, all the electrical things in the environment to kind of like stop the police from reaching him. It looks interesting, but I am interested in seeing like how much freedom you have in the environment here. And I assume that chase sequence wasn't scripted. If it was scripted, it's not so impressive. But if it wasn't scripted, that's pretty impressive. That's a game to watch out for. Watch Dogs, that looks interesting. That could be very good. And the graphics were pretty good on it, but whatever. Next one was Diablo 3 by Blizzard Entertainment. They didn't show any gameplay or even cutscenes or anything like that. But they basically announced it is coming to the PS4. I haven't played Diablo 3 on the PC. So I don't know what to say about the game, but it's coming to the PC. So if you like Diablo 3 on the PC and you've always wanted to play it on a console, now's your chance, I guess. So whatever. Next one is Destiny by Activision / Bungie. They kind of like teamed up to make this. It just looks like Halo. I don't know, that's what it looks like to me, but it doesn't look interesting to me. It's like it's another FPS to me. Like that's how I feel. Like I said, FPSs aren't my kind of thing. I hate most of them, and it's very rare for me to like an FPS. So Destiny doesn't look interesting to me. It just looks like Halo. Okay, so that's all of the games I've gone through. So now I'm just talking about more of the like hardware or features of the PS4 itself. So this wasn't announced in the conference. This was announced sometime after the conference, but basically there was a lot of speculation on whether or not the PS4 would block used games, so you can't play pre-owned games on the PS4. I believe the 720 is going to block pre-owned games. A lot of people are pissed off about that, but I don't really mind because I don't use pre-owned games anyway, so I always buy my games new anyway, so I don't really mind. But it's just a bad thing for all those people who do buy pre-owned games, I suppose. But they did say after the conference that the PS4 will not block pre-owned games, so do with that information what you will. Like I said, I don't mind, so whatever. The next thing was no backwards compatibility, so you can't play your PS3 games on the PS4. This really angers me. I don't like this at all. Like, you can't play your PS3 games on the PS4. Like, people are like, well, you have a PS3 anyway, so you can just play your PS3 games on that. Yes, that's true, but the PS3 isn't the only console I have. Like, I have quite a lot of consoles here, because, like, I'm kind of like a collector. Like, I've got a bunch of the retro consoles as well. Like, I have the PS3, PS2, a HD PVR, an NES, SNES, a Nintendo Wii, N64, and a Sega Mega Drive. So, as you could imagine, I'm running out of space here, and I'm going to have to throw a PS4 on top of all this. So I am, like, very badly running out of space here. Like, until I, like, move out and buy my own house, which will be, like, no time soon, I'm pretty much screwed. Like, I'm running out of space here, so I'm going to have to put some consoles up in the attic or something to make room. So that's what kind of pisses me off, because of course if the PS4 was compatible with the PS3 games, I could put my PS3 up in the attic and just keep the PS4 down here, so I'm saving space, which is the important thing here. So that's what pisses me off. And on top of that, from my experience, the PS3 isn't too reliable. I've had 2 PS3s die on me, and obviously when this dies on me, I'm going to have to buy another PS3. And of course, if the PS4 was compatible with PS3 games, I wouldn't have to buy another PS3 game, PS3 console when this one dies. Because obviously the PS4 could play the PS3 games for me. So that's one thing which I'm really disappointed by. Like, it's something to do with, like, the cell they use. Like, the cell they used would... It makes it awkward for them to incorporate the hardware which would allow them to use PS3 games on the PS4. I don't know, it's something like that, but regardless of what the reason is, I'm disappointed that you can't play PS3 games on the PS4. They did say that you can play PS3 games on the PS4, but the thing is, you have to download them. So you're going to have to buy your PS3 library all over again on the PS4 store. Like, you know, obviously they're going to do some sort of store where you can buy games on the PS4. They did say they will include the PS3 games on the PS4, so whoop-de-doo, but the thing is, you're going to have to buy the games all over again. Like, it would be cool if it kind of connected to your PS3 trophy list, and whatever games, whatever trophies you have on the games from the PS3, like, it can, like, read that. So basically it understands what game you've played on the PS3. So the games you've played and owned on the PS3, you can get for free on the PS4, if you know what I'm saying. But the flaw with this is that if your friend let you borrow the game, if you borrow the game from a friend, you would get the game for free, and obviously there's a flaw in that system. So I guess you're just gonna have to buy the games all over again, which sucks. Like, that really sucks. The next thing, players you download. So you can, as you're downloading games, like previously beforehand, you had to wait for the whole entire game to finish downloading before you could start playing it. But now you can download it, and as it's downloading, you can play it. So you're kind of like streaming the game as it's downloading. So this is an interesting idea, but the thing is, my internet connection sucks. Like, I live in Wales, so South Wales. So they do say, like, it does depend on which where you are. Like, I don't know, if you're in America, you're bound to get like a better speeds, I suppose, or if you're in London, you're bound to get better speeds than you are in South Wales, you know. So like, it takes me a long time to download PS3 games, that's what I'm saying. So I'm expecting the PS4 to take like hours to download one single game as well. So I don't think this is going to be much use to me because my internet connection sucks. Like, when I'm torrenting stuff, the highest speed I've ever gotten in my life is 600 kilobytes. So I'm with Sky, so Sky is pretty bad, like Sky broadband. From my experience, Sky isn't too good. Like, the speed's pretty low, but again, this kind of depends on your location as well. Your location does dictate your maximum like bandwidth as well. So I don't think I'm going to benefit from much from this play as you downloads feature. So yeah, the controller, but it's cool for those of you who can benefit from it. So it's a cool feature, it's just that I can't really benefit from it, I don't think, at least. Now, as for the controller, the big thing, they didn't show the console, the price, the release date. However, they did show the controller. The controller is basically the PS3 controller, with the biggest difference being that in the middle is a touchscreen. And I don't want touchscreen. Like, when I play a game, I just want to hit buttons. Like, I don't want to have to worry about this, like, touchscreen in the middle. Like, I don't want to have to keep looking down at the touchscreen. Or maybe, I was kind of thinking they're going to show, like, there will be a mini screen, kind of like the Wii U on the touchscreen. But now I'm thinking there won't be anything on the touchscreen. So you can still look up. Like, I'm not sure, but I don't think you... Like, I originally envisioned they would be, like, it's basically a mini screen, like the Wii U controller. But now I'm thinking it's not a screen. You can, like, touch it to, like, control stuff on the TV as normal. Like, but basically, I'm not a fan of touchscreen. I'm not into that sort of stuff, so the touchscreen doesn't really do anything for me. I just wish they were just buttons. Like, that's all I want for, like, a game. I just want to press buttons. I don't want to have to worry about this, like, all this, like, touch screens or motion controllers, that sort of stuff. That's really all I have to say, though. The PS4 doesn't look like that big of a leap when compared to the PS3 to the PS2. Like, the graphics, they aren't that much of an improvement over the PS3 era. The technology, there's really not much new here. Like, don't get me wrong, there are a few new features, although it's nothing groundbreaking, as far as I'm concerned, or at least in my opinion. Of course, everything said here is just my opinion, but as far as I'm concerned, the PS4 kind of seems really unnecessary. There's not really anything groundbreaking here as far as I'm concerned, or in the graphical department. There's nothing really, you know, too impressive here with the graphics. It's not much of a big leap. So overall, like, I'm still gonna buy the PS4 on the launch day. Like, I'm a Sony fanboy, so as soon as the PS4 is released, I'm gonna buy it on day one anyway. Like, regardless of how badly this turned out, I was gonna buy the PS4 anyway. But the PS4, well, it looks okay, but when compared to the PS3 to the PS2, it's not much of a leap in terms of technology or anything like that, you know? Okay, that's the end of the video. That's the end of my rambling. So, I don't know, I hope you found this interesting, I guess, if you sat through all of this. Yeah, that's really all I have to say. So that's my thoughts on the PS4 and the games. So, thanks for watching. Bye.